Excavations this summer on Mount Lycaon, once worshipped as the birthplace of the god Zeus, uncovered the year-old skeleton of a teenager amid a mound of ashes built up over a millennium from sacrificed animals. Greece's culture ministry said that the skeleton, probably of an adolescent boy, was found in the heart of the meter-broad ash altar, next to a man-made stone platform. The altar stands on high plateau upon a mountain at the southwestern tip of Greece and has panoramic views across the Peloponnese. Related, Dark Age palace discovery strengthens King Arthur myth. Excavators say it's too early to speculate on the nature of the teenager's death, but the discovery is remarkable because the remote Mount Lycaon was for centuries associated with the most nefarious of Greek cults. Ancient writers, including Plato, linked it with human sacrifice to Zeus, a practice which has very rarely been confirmed by archaeologists anywhere in the Greek world and never on mainland Greece. Human sacrifice. According to legend, a boy was sacrificed with the animals and all the meat was cooked and eaten together. Several ancient literary sources mention rumors that human sacrifice took place at the altar, but up until a few weeks ago there has been no trace whatsoever of human bones discovered at the site, said excavator David Gilman Romano, professor of Greek archaeology at the University of Arizona. The central altar and a platform carved out of the mountain's rock were excavated in recent months. It's here the human skeleton was found. Whether it's a sacrifice or not, this is a sacrificial altar, so it's not a place where you would bury an individual. It's not a cemetery, Romano told the Associated Press. Related, hidden stone tablets reveal the fate of defeated Mayan king. A very unusual detail, he said, was that the upper part of the skull was missing, while the body was laid among two lines of stones on an east-west axis, with stone slabs covering the pelvis. Some of the stone panels were richly carved. So far, only about 7% of the altar has been excavated, between 2007–2010 and again this year. We have a number of years of future excavation to go, Romano said. We don't know if we are going to find more human burials or not. Linked to Lycaon. According to one of several versions of the Greek legend, King Lycaon was widely feared for his cruelty. He also seems to have been something of a skeptic, doubting the powers of the king of the gods, Zeus. So he sacrificed to the god the roasted flesh of his son Nyctimus, served among the meat of a multitude of animals. The idea was to see if Zeus was omniscient enough to notice. The god did. Enraged, Zeus threw over the altar, turned King Lycaon into a wolf and killed all those involved in the murder with lightning. Holy plaque. The mountaintop in the Peloponnese region is the earliest known site where Zeus was worshipped. And even without the possible human sacrifice element, it was a place of massive slaughter, from at least the 16th century BB until just after the time of Alexander the Great. Tens of thousands of animals were killed there in the god's honor. Human presence at the site goes back more than years. There is no sign yet that the cult is as old as that, but it is unclear why people should otherwise choose to settle on the barren, exposed summit. Related, China finds evidence of legendary Great Flood. Zeus was a sky and weather god who later became the leader of the classical Greek pantheon. Pottery found with the human remains dates them to the 11th century B.C., right at the end of the Mycenaean era, whose heroes were immortalized in Greek myth and Homer's epics, and several of whose palaces have been excavated. Excavations at Mount Lycaon have uncovered monumental buildings in a sanctuary on a lower plateau. It was a site of ancient games held in honor of Zeus in the 4th century BB. The altar itself is much higher up the mountain. Most of the animal sacrifice remains there were of goats and sheep. Archaeologists have found evidence the site had been occupied since Neolithic times. The Peloponnese has a lot on offer and Varan tries to take in as much as possible. News, Oz privacy policy includes important information about our collection, use and disclosure of your personal information, including to provide you with targeted content and advertising based on your online activities. It explains that if you do not provide us with information we have requested from you, we may not be able to provide you with the goods and services you require. It also explains how you can access or seek correction of your personal information, how you can complain about a breach of the Australian privacy principles, and how we will deal with a complaint of that nature.